All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Community Update. Happy 1st of November. And at this time, I will turn it over to Colonel Lucas, our Joint Base Garrison Commander.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. Definitely glad to be here at the McCord Club this morning. So thanks, everyone, for the setup and hosting us here. We're going to start the day with a recognition, and Chief Sandusky, I'm going to ask you to come up because we're going to recognize an airman this morning in front of the spirit of community here in the community update.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I like an excited crowd. So, Airman Nichols, are you in the room? Come on up here, please. So, when we had the opportunity, we were discussing this recently about shifting back and forth and doing a little bit of recognition. We wanted to highlight somebody who's doing something important for JBLM. This morning, we want to talk about Airman Nichols just a little bit. I know she's embarrassed because she really doesn't know why she's here. So, first off, Airman Nichols is a night shift worker, so she's on her own time to come over here this morning. But I want to kind of throw out a couple of things that she's been doing and understanding of why she's making a difference here at Joint Base Lewis McChord. So she is the event coordinator for our dorm council and our First Floor organization. And that's the organization that really gets at taking care of our airmen, which is our E1s or our E4s. And in that role, she's put together already 6 events that have had over 500 people attend. And I know it sounds like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Well, this young lady's only been in the Air Force for 8 months. And I think that's pretty impressive, right? So 8 months in the Air Force, already leading, and not just taking care of airmen, but taking care of soldiers and taking care of people on the base. Her events have been enjoyed by over 500 people here at Joint Base Lewis McChord. So on behalf of Colonel Sunkus, I want to say thank you as well. Yeah.
Thanks. So I'm really no, you're not going anywhere. So thank you for the words, Chief, and thank you for what you're doing for airmen and for JBLM, because it really does. Every little bit that we do does something for the big picture. So I really appreciate that. Just going to hand off briefly for any opening remarks from General Stanley. I'll give you.
Bon matin tout le monde. So I am not Major General Milhorn. Brigadier General Mike St. Louis. I'm DCGO at I-Corps headquarters. Welcome everybody. I am left behind as the Corps is gone to Warfighter 1802, and the headquarters will be doing exercise in Korea for the next couple of weeks. On behalf of General Valesky and his Command Sergeant Major, thank you again for coming to these updates. Thanks, Nicole, to you and your team from the garrison, bringing together airmen, airwomen, our soldiers, and our civilians to be updated on what is happening in our community. So I applaud you from being here, being involved, and then hopefully passing on all this great information to the folks that we're in charge of, the folks we take care of on every day. So thank you for being here. While we'll be away in Korea, in actual fact, the name that should have been up there in charge of this whole thing, Major General Burleson from 790, he's the JBLM Senior Commander for the next 2 weeks. So don't look for the Canadian if you have any problems. There's actually a 2-star right here. He's the man. And you'll be seeing him at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much, Nicole, to your team.
Sir, if you are definitely not General Milhorn, I am definitely not Colonel Rebecca Sonkus. Folks, on behalf of Colonel Sonkus, my commander, welcome over here to the McCord Field side of the house. We're very proud to showcase. Nicole, thanks for hosting this over here. I got to be honest with you, in my time here, we've never done a community update at the McCord, on the McCord side, so I don't know if we've ever done this before. You know, we're always really happy to showcase our airmen, our facilities over here. I will say it was a little inconvenient because like with most Air Force bases, we start our day, we usually have for all of our airmen an omelet station and free mimosas. Over there is usually where we do the Swedish massages for spouses. And then right here is usually where we have the pony rides for kids. But you guys do that in the Army too, right? Yeah? That's okay, we're accepting applications, come on over. But seriously, this club is really kind of representative of the best of what joint basing can do. And I say that because if you walk on this half of the club, you're going to see it is brand new remodeled, absolutely gorgeous. If we were still in Air Force Base, I'm not sure, not just when, but if the Air Force ever would have funded that. So as much as it pains me to do this and pay a compliment to the United States Army, I will tell you that this club and what we have done here, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for joint basing, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Army. So thank you, Nicole, to you and your team. Thanks to the whole team that continue to support our airmen and our soldiers. Thank you. Welcome.
So I'll be taking compliments all day. So again, welcome everybody. I can't believe that it's the 1st of November. Really, I cannot believe it's the 1st of November. And anyone else who endured the late start Wednesday for schools made this morning even more complicated. So again, thank you all for getting in here. Hopefully last night was great, great Halloween. On JBLM, as far as I know so far, it was uneventful, which is good from where I sit and the hat I wear. I'm always happy to hear that. We do put a lot of effort into sort of preparing for the Halloween activities, both the lead up and the actual day. So there is a feedback sheet on your table. So if you got feedback on things we did to prepare for Halloween and execute Halloween on JBLM, please give us that feedback. Because from a DES perspective and anything else, we are interested in doing that. I have a couple of things I want to talk about this morning before I hand off to the team. And again, I'm still sort of working through what are the things that I can share with you at this update, what are the things that I can share with you or with commanders through I'm doing this bi-monthly email. But in my mind, if anyone else drove up to Transmission Line Road, I think last week or the week before, and said, what is going on here? I did the same thing. And that's when I think I've told you, some of you this before, a lot of times I drive up to something and I'm like, who's responsible for that? It's me. So I thought maybe it would be good if I sort of highlight some of the big construction things that are happening, especially with respect to road closures. So I'll try to do that as I go forward. This is the one I want to talk about this morning because I know this is affecting sort of the units in this particular area, not just getting to work, but the way we're doing PT, but it affects everybody that tries to transit through there depending on what way you're coming and if you're trying to get to Madigan or other places on the installation. So this work that we're doing on Transmission Line Road, it was a good news story because we were able to start it early. But again, I know I've learned since that was a bit of a surprise to some of us. So this section of the road's going to close hopefully through the 7th of December. We have done some work to reroute traffic, but if you're being affected by this and you need to have a dialogue on something we can do better, please just reach out either directly to me or to DPW or DES, and we'll work those issues because we don't know necessarily what these impacts have to you in your unit or as you transit these areas. Next slide. I get asked this question a lot. So the Sam Adams Brewhouse that is on JBLM, I get asked a lot, can kids go there? So the answer to that question is yes, and they are welcome there until 1900. So please come, have dinner, bring the kids, and then it does transition to non-kids only. Still come, you can schedule right arm nights if we're still calling it that. But bring your units. I was going to bring my mug. I have a mug that says Colonel Nicole Lucas, and Lang's got one that says Colonel Lang Lucas. The idea is that we make that our place so that you can leave your mug there, come get a beer after work, and just do some sort of fellowship there. But the big question I get is, are kids invited? And they absolutely are until 1900. Next slide. Okay, and I have one more thing I want to talk about just because it surprised me. A lot of our kids are in CDCs, or your airmen and soldiers are in the CDCs. They're in the School Age Services program, as are mine. And as we roll into the holidays, there'll be some closures associated with those. So on your table, I asked what I thought was an easy question. Hey, let's put up the hours of holiday closures. Turns out it's not an easy answer. So on your table are some of the key closures that may be associated with the CDCs and CYS services over the holidays. So please take that back to your units and share that. Because for me, I think it was Columbus Day, I walked in and they said, oh, it's closed. What? So, just try to help us communicate that so that a soldier or an airman's not caught off guard, that they need to maybe find alternate care if they're required to work. Or if you were planning on shopping on Black Friday and putting your kids in care, you won't be able to do that. So please just, just think those things through as we roll into the holiday. All right, who's next? My favorite, the calendar review.
Highlight of my day, ma'am. Well, welcome to another community update. The three things everybody wants to know are personal shred days. As you can see, we still have one each month. We have had to reduce the hours on the installation destruction facility as we're changing over personnel, but we have maintained those personal shred days. So 3rd of November, the 1st of December, and again on the 2nd of January. So we always do see an uptick in first quarter, people shredding, getting a lot of stuff as they close out their calendar year. They get rid of old tax records, start getting their other stuff together. Just make sure you don't shred this year's tax records, shred 5 or 6 years back. The only other thing I wanted to mention to you is that, as you can see in December, the periods that are shown for the winter breaks as schools are coming out, that means we're going to have an increased number of kids that are going to be in and around the Joint Base. Again, a lot of activities out and about. Just be careful when you're out driving. And for those of you that don't have CDC care, we are going to put together a DPTMS workhouse where you can drop your kids off. We'll put them to work. We got some range construction projects we need to get done. We're looking for some young, strong men and women we can hook up to the plow. And we won't break them, but we will guarantee we give them back to you tired so you can put them right to bed and feed them. But again, as you can see, there's a downturn in operational activities in the first quarter. As you would imagine, it's always kind of tough with all of the holidays for units to do a lot of large-scale field training. That's good. Gives you an opportunity to put them at work at home when you don't and have them out in the field. But again, in January, after we get done with the holiday period, we will be ramping back up. So the activities on the base will be back to normal. And then, Chaplain will talk about the combined services, and then the Ministry of Fun will talk about a bunch of the other ones. So any questions for DPTMS? Always a pleasure.
And always nice to have you, Mr. James. Hi, I'm Alicia Grady. I am the Director of Personnel and Family Readiness. Just a couple highlights that we want to put in front of you today. Every year in November, as part of Military Appreciation Week, which happens the week of Thanksgiving, we always do a family treasure hunt. It's a really great activity because it really is a treasure hunt. You register online, you get a list of items to find across the footprint of JBLM. There are some historical things, and really what it is, it's kind of a roadmap of the entire base. It gives you an opportunity to get out, look around, and go to places on the base that you might not have ever been to or seen before. If you collect all the items on the list, you get a prize, thanks to our partners at MWR. So I highly encourage you. This is a great family fun event. We give you a period of time to accomplish it, so it's not like you have to get it done in one day. We give you from today until the 20th of November to go out and find all these exciting little things on JBLM. We're hosting an education fair. This is a joint venture between the Service Member and Family Assistance Center and Education Center on November 14th. So if you have anyone interested in continuing education or starting education with any of the great partner universities that we have, this is a great opportunity to visit, and it will be held at the Stone Education Center. And we're also doing another Child and Youth Services recruiting fair. CYS is in desperate need of employees. They have been short-staffed for a very long time. If you've been here for a while, you've heard some of the briefings from CYS on the staff shortages that they have. So we regularly do recruitment fairs. So here's a great opportunity for full-time and part-time positions. So if you have an opportunity, please participate. It's at Eagles Pride Golf Course. And then one other thing that didn't make it in the slide deck, because I just got it this morning, but on your table, Pacific Lutheran University every year hosts this football game. and they give free tickets. Another great opportunity for our service members and their families to do, you know, a family event, and it's free. So information is on the table, and if you have any questions specific to that, you can see our AUSA folks over there because they're the ones who sponsor this with PLU. And up next, I will turn it over to Madigan. Ma'am?
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Colonel Susie Scott. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer over at Madigan Army Medical Center here for Colonel Place, who is in the thick of things with Defense Health Agency rolling out our new electronic health record known as MHS Genesis. So if you've had a chance to visit the hospital in the last about 10 days, you'll know that we have gone live with our new electronic health record. And so far, it seems to be going quite well. So for you all, if you haven't had an opportunity to do so yet, one of the big changes is how you can access your electronic health information. And instead of going through TRICARE Online, you go in directly through the MHS Genesis portal. There is a process to log on. You've got a flyer to register to show you how to register for the portal on your tables. If you need assistance with this, we've got folks that are set up in the hospital on the first floor Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 through the 17th of November to be able to assist you with this. If you are trying to do this for the first time, if you don't have a CAC and go on and are working to register, you need to have a few key pieces of information with you, one of which is your Social Security number and your DOD ID. We've moved away from heavy emphasis on Social Security numbers, and the new system really relies on that DOD ID, so you're going to need that number with you. You'll also find that it's going to ask you some detailed personal questions, and this is to meet the cybersecurity requirements because this is got a lot of sensitive information in the system, so they're really making sure that we maintain the security of the system. Once you are successful at logging in, the secure messaging function is not yet working on the portal, so don't be alarmed if you're trying to work the secure messaging. This was intentional because we want to make sure that all of our providers are loaded into the system and can receive your messages before we have that go live in the system. Your request for appointment function is also not yet live. Again, for the same reason, we want to make sure that all of our appointments and clinics are built into the system successfully so that you can successfully navigate to those. In the meantime, the track function, the telephonic appointment line, regional appointment line is still functional for you. It'll work for you for your primary care appointments. And you can call the specialty clinics directly as well for appointments. Those numbers are listed on the Madigan homepage on Facebook as well. So next slide. So because we have switched to online or new electronic health record, some of our appointments have been limited for the next couple of weeks through at least the 20th of November to make sure that our providers can access the system and work through the new electronic health record safely and accurately capture your information. Because of this, we acknowledge that your access to care has been a little bit limited. So we have coordinated for you to be able to receive care in urgent care clinics around the community without that primary care manager referral. Also on your table, there's a flyer, and on that flyer, on the back of that, it shows you the urgent care clinics in the local area that actually accept the TRICARE referral information. So, okay. And then right now, we're at about 50% appointment load, and we're going to sustain this for about the next 90 days and gradually work that up as we get more adept with the system. So. It is flu season. So I know the military in the room know this because we've walked through the system to be able to get our flu shots this year, but for your family members, we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to get their flu shots as well. So we are holding a flu clinic in the medical mall to make this easy for you. The dates here are up on the screen. If you or your family members can't make it to the flu clinic in the Madigan Mall, you can always go to your primary care clinic for a flu shot. You can also use the community resources as well. Rite Aid offers flu shots, and you can get those free of charge there as well on that one. Okay. And with that, I'm going to turn it, oh, there you are.
Good morning, everyone. So for those who are unaware, the month of November marks the Army's Warrior Care Month, and we just wanted to inform the senior leadership on JBLM that we're hosting a few events for those folks. So tomorrow we're having a kickoff breakfast for battalion and brigade command teams along with the physicians at the American Lake. And this is really for us to really highlight some of the great and wonderful things that our battalion is doing for the soldiers that come from JBLM, and provide some insight on how you can assist your soldiers to come into our battalion to help in their healing process. Next slide. And some of these events for the November, middle of the month, we're gonna, over at Keeler Gym, we're gonna have kind of an adaptive reconditioning showcase with some of the things that our soldiers go through to help them when they're recovering from some of their injuries. Some of the things are wheelchair basketball, sit-down volleyball, some of the air rifle and archery. And at the end of the month, we're going to close it out with a town hall. And it's really going to be career-focused, kind of highlighting some of the opportunities our soldiers have for internships and things of that sort. So if for some reason, if some of the leadership did not get an invite and still may be interested in coming tomorrow morning, myself and my Sergeant Major will be around for the next couple of minutes after the community update, and we can just take your name and we can provide some more information. So thank you very much.
All right, so as you can tell, it's a very fluid time at Madigan Army Medical Center. It's easy to stay updated with what's going on, though. We've got a website. We're also on Facebook, Twitter. The links are here on the slides for you to be able to access us. I'd encourage you to go online. This is the best way to stay updated because we update this on a regular basis with what's happening in the hospital. So subject to that, subject to your questions, I will turn it over. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. I'm Chuck Markham, Director of Public Works here. A few things this morning. I'll talk a little bit about inclement weather plans, snow and ice removal. Then I've got a couple DPW employees that will cover sustainability and also a beautiful program we have in December at the cemetery. Inclement weather is on its way, as everybody knows, and so we have a snow and ice removal plan that we'll be executing. It's the control plan has been briefed to all the leadership. We really look at our priorities, and obviously our number one priority is here at McCord Field, but then also look at keeping Gray Army Airfield open too. We will have all the emergency routes covered. We also have priorities 1 and 2 routes. This is all laid out inside the plan, and we can share exactly where those routes are. But however, you know, parking lots are a concern for us as for safety, but normally we get to them when we can. So just be patient with us with the parking lots. I know there's lots of issues in there. Madigan has their own plan and their own clearing there. Within the housing areas, Lincoln cleans most of the side streets. We, DPW, will clear any roads that are thoroughfare through those housing areas. Those are our responsibilities. And I would like to point out, we have been very active over the last couple of winters, and we will continue this winter. We know in working with DES where a lot of the danger areas are as we get some of these early morning freezes here. Probably not a lot of snow this winter, but there's always freezing, and so we try to get out the night before or early in the morning and put down some pre-treatment to try to make those dangerous areas a little bit more safe. So bear with us. Next slide, please. I wanted to just bring out what responsibilities, besides what we're doing on the roads, there's also responsibilities at the facility managers. And you can see the areas there, and then likewise, if you live here on the installation in housing, your responsibilities are those too. So any questions on the snow and ice removal plan? Okay. Before I introduce, bring up Kathy here to talk about sustainability, I'd also like to just put out some good news. We were notified yesterday that we are, JBLM is the recipient of the FY17 Army Community Partnership Award. and that's for our work with Pierce County in the transportation areas, and what we're doing, as she explains every month, about trip reductions and van pools, but mainly with the success that we've had here with our Lewis McChord program, or the Go Transit with the bikes and the shuttle vans. So that's really good news for us, and it's a good success, and we expect to see that improving in the future. So, Kathy?
Good morning. I'm here to talk about November being the America's Recycles Month, and we're going to focus this morning on our recycling centers. You can see from the picture here, our handy helpers there from LeMay are helping somebody who just moved in. We capture those moving boxes and we store them in Econics. So if you're getting ready to transition out, consider coming by the recycling center to pick up supplies before you go shopping. Next slide, please. We have all kinds of places to put your stuff. We have 2 thrift stores, one on Lewis and one on McCord. We have all kinds of items accepted at our recycling centers. So we take glass, cooking oil, batteries, e-waste, light bulbs, all kinds of things that you may not think about if you've got to get rid of that stuff. Household hazardous waste does not go at the thrift stores. It goes to Building 1210. We have hours there. Please give us a call. That's environmental. We want to make sure it doesn't end up in the garbage or being stashed behind the donation shed there at the thrift store. And if you're wondering what can you recycle, we do have a spot on our, if you go to the JBLM homepage, click on Sustainable JBLM, there's the environmental guidebook there. It'll tell you about all kinds of things for both work and home. Next slide, please. So illegal dumping, for those of you who have units out in the field right now doing fall cleanup, you're familiar with this, but we do have illegal dumping on JBLM. If you have large items, why don't you call? Just call us. We have 2 recycling outreach coordinators who can assist. If you live in the barracks, we can help you with that. We can direct. If you live in housing, you have 1 large item pickup per year. So again, we have a red line detail that goes out and cleans up, and then we also do these fall cleanups twice a year. We want to make sure we keep JBLM looking spiffy. Okay, next slide. Getting to SeaTac Airport, it's getting to be travel season, so we just wanted to bring it to your attention that you can get to SeaTac from JBLM. Just leave your car in the housing area, and you can take Go Transit Shuttle for free, Route 2, out to the 512 Park and Ride, or you can also take the Pierce Transit 206 to the Lakewood Town Center and capture that ride there. From either location, you'll take Sound Transit 574 to SeaTac Airport. It takes about 70 minutes. So once again, keep that in mind. You don't have to pay for parking at SeaTac. We can help you out and use our fabulous Go Transit. There is a piece of paper on your tables there that has our Go Lewis McChord QR code on the back. So it also will have information about our Go van pools, our Go bike share, and of course our Go Transit and shuttle. Next slide, please. So getting around JBLM. Let's say you take a van pool to work. A Go bike share can get you around to appointments or errands, or you can hop on the Go Transit shuttle. Once again, we have over 60 stops, and they run every 20 minutes. Thank you very much. Oh, excuse me, sorry. One more question? 206. Mr. Oh, Mr. Marco.
And make a right on 208, and the fence line runs all the way to 208, and it's like dump central. I mean, toilets, everything, you name it, it's dumped there.
Okay, can I talk with you afterwards, and I'll get the exact location. We'll see if that's
Okay.
if that's JBLM property or not.
Yeah, because it's fenced. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anybody else? Donna.
Thank you. Good morning. My name's Donna Dahlstrom. I work at Director of Public Works, and my role there is to oversee the cemetery program for JBLM. So I'm here this morning to extend an opportunity that I think that you will appreciate, and it's something that we do on December 16th, and it's called Wreaths Across America. So across our nation, on the second Saturday of the month, there's about 1,200 different cemeteries nationally that place wreaths in honor of the veterans and their families that have fallen before us. Last year, we were able to do this for the first time. We partnered with the Daughters of the American Revolution, and we were able to place over 1,000 wreaths. So this year, our goal is to be able to do that same thing. So what I'm here to do today is to offer an opportunity if you'd like to volunteer and help honorably place the wreaths and acknowledge those who have fallen before us, as well as just to have a moment of solitude in that morning and have a small celebration, or not celebration, a ceremony where there will be community volunteers. So if you have an opportunity on 9 o'clock, December 16th, to come out and help place wreaths, we look forward to seeing you. If you'd like more information about the Wreaths Across America program itself that helps support this event, it's at wreathsacrossamerica.org. And if you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask, my name and my email address is up there. On that particular address that I gave you just now, if you'd like to volunteer, you can directly go to that website and volunteer, and then just show up that morning at December 16th. So again, I just want to extend this honorable opportunity if you have a moment to come out and help place wreaths for our fallen heroes. Pardon me? You may show up the morning of. Last year we had about 400 volunteers that showed up, and USO was gracious to have donuts and coffee, so it helped warm us up a little bit. So this year our goal is to have a volunteer for every wreath. So I hope you can come out and help us do that.
Good morning. As we move into the fall season and we start hitting the holidays, everybody likes to go out and decorate their homes. So here's the annual list of dates for decorations when you can put them up and put them down. And all I got to ask one time is, why do we always put up "don't get on the roof"? Is because some people do tend to get on the roof and fall off. So please don't get on the roof. Next slide, please. So everybody likes to win stuff. So Lewis McChord Communities or Lincoln Military Housing are going to have a holiday home decorating contest, and they will be driving around through the holidays, and they will pick one home from every one of the 22 neighborhoods that we have on the installation, and that winner will receive a $100 gift card. Okay, so if you like to decorate your home, this is a great opportunity for you to get something back for when you go out and decorate your home. If you have questions or concerns, go to the Facebook side for Lewis McChord Communities. They'll have some information on there, but a great opportunity where you can win a little money for decorating your home. And I'll put out one last plug, because we are getting into the holiday season, and as Mr. Markham had talked about with the snow and ice removal plan, it does start to get cold, and people tend to leave and go on holidays during the holiday season and stay with their family and friends. Just a reminder that if you leave your home and you're going to be gone for a while, it does get cold here, please leave your heat on. All right, if you turn your heat on and you turn it off, and then it gets cold and it drops down to freezing, it's a possibility that your pipes could burst and you come home to water coming out the front door or a serious incident in the home. Okay, so please leave your heat on. Don't let your pipes freeze. Next slide, please. Unless I have any questions? Nope, be followed by MWR.
Morning, everybody. Kelly from MWR. This is the list of fun stuff coming up in the next few months. We're starting off with this Saturday. This is where you can get the Swedish massage and the mimosa bar, like Colonel Snelson mentioned, at the Care Fair on Saturday over at American Lake Conference Center, so you just have to travel a little ways from here to get it. Plus manicures, a lot of helping agencies there. It's a way to get some community involvement and get the community feeling really good about themselves. Next thing that we've got coming up is the turkey trot. You can still register for the turkey trot. So if you want to do that, you can register online. The information is there. And then the Thanksgiving buffet here in this room and the other ancillary rooms. If you don't want to cook Thanksgiving dinner this year, the club will cook it for you here. So you can come out and have a great Thanksgiving meal. Your family is invited. You know, it's everything that you would get at your own Thanksgiving meal with Grandma and more. So, you know, they've got 6 different kinds of pies and salmon and shrimp on ice. So maybe things you don't get at your grandma's Thanksgiving dinner. But the reservations are being taken today through a couple of days before Thanksgiving. So if it sounds really good, you can stop in the business office on your way through out to the car. The club has also got some dates left open for holiday parties, so if you're interested in having a squadron or unit party here or just a work gathering, give them a call and let them know, and they can help you out that way as well. Tonight, waterfowl hunting clinic. It's one of the first ones that we've had. It's an opportunity for folks who want to hunt on base or off. You can get some good information about that. The Big Bang Variety Show. This is a variety show coming from Armed Forces Entertainment, and it is for 18 and older only. So it's not a kids show. Tickets are $10 at the door, and it should be a lot of fun. And the amazing Jonathan is the host. They've got comedians. They've got a Cirque du Soleil type act, some contortionists, so it should be an interesting show. And then the tree lighting ceremony over on Lewis, Maine at Jensen Fitness Center on the last day of the month. Next slide. Coming up in December, just a list of the things that we've got going on. Breakfast with Santa is going to be here. The Sounders Lanes on McCord will be hosting their annual family New Year's Eve party, and that's a pretty exclusive event. It's a limited number of folks can get tickets, so if you're thinking about it, think about it early and get your tickets then. And then Sporting Clay is coming up in January. I've got representatives from Sounders Lanes and from Bowl Arena Lanes here in the back. They've got a lot of good information about what's happening on the bowling centers on Lewis and McCord this winter. Information about bowling parties and packages. If you've got kids who've got birthday parties coming up, consider doing it at the bowling center, and they take care of pretty much everything for you there. And then there's Sunday special for $43. You can bowl, you get a voucher for food, you get shoes. It's a really good deal. And then they asked me to talk about a couple of things at McCord. They do cosmic bowling every Saturday from 7 to 11. So if you're looking for something fun to do on the evenings on a Saturday, definitely head over to Sounders Lanes. And then also on Saturdays from 10 to noon at Sounders Lanes, they have $5 bowling for kids. So everything that you need to keep your family busy at the bowling centers on base. Anybody have any questions? Great. We'll see you out there having a good time this couple of months. Thanks.
Good morning, JBLM. What a beautiful morning, right? Yes, it is totally different from Korea. That's wonderful. I'm Chaplain Kim. Yeah, I'm Ops and Plans Chaplain. I've been here only 4 months now. It's totally different. It's gorgeous over here. And you know what? Our chaplain's office provides many programs in November, December, January, so many programs. In November, we have a Faith and Family University night every Wednesday evening, 5 through 1700 through 2000 hours. We provide a free meal and the free child care providers. Okay, we provide the 7 classes. Classes begin from 1700 hours. You're more than welcome. Okay, bring your kids and then let them know the God's word. All right, and our key events in November are Family Advent Wreath Workshop. 19 November, 1300 hours at Lewis Maine Chapel. All right? And the Grace Gospel Thanksgiving Dinner is scheduled for 23rd November, 1300 through 1500 hours. It's all free. So all are welcome. And we have JBLM Clergy Symposium is scheduled for 29 December, 9 to 1400 hours at our main chapel, Lewis Main Chapel. So if you know any pastors or clergy members in local, invite them, okay? We're gonna have a fun and we'll share our military stuffs and PTSD and other stuffs with them, okay? And for them. And they will take care of their congregations, because local churches and Catholic churches, they have a lot of military members and family members. So it is a really good tool for them. All right, Operation Christmas Child campaign. Operation Christmas Child is an outreach event of the entire JBLM protesting community. We collect gifts, okay? And shoebox packing party is scheduled for November 4th, 10 o'clock till noon at McCord Field Chapel Support Center. POC is Lisa Smith. Today is All Saints Day for Catholics. So we have a lot of, we have 4 masses today. McCord Chapel, we have a mass at noon and 1800 hours. Lewis North Chapel, we have a mass at noon. Main Chapel, 1800 hours. Let me give you one spiritual tip today. Psalm 120 says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will watch over you from now and forevermore. We have a lot of troops deployed all over places and the word. Our God, Almighty God, the Creator, will protect them, will take care of them and their family members, as well as each one of us here. God bless. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm at the Lewis Commissary, but the commissary starting, actually, they got the 4th, but actually the 3rd will start accepting the military star card at the commissary. So just let everyone know that's an opportunity. Maybe Aphis can tell you, but I do not believe the rewards that they do have will count when you use it. It will? Okay. So you'll still get your rewards by using it at the commissary. Next slide. The Lewis Maine commissary over on the other side, I'm having Veterans Day sale through the 10th through the 12th. It's going to be, I'm trying to get everything that should be back there to be in the warehouse, about at least 50% off sale. Working on doing one at least once a month, about midday month during payday weekend, to offer more savings to everyone, because it's a benefit that we all have. Next slide. We got the holidays approaching. Make sure that you order the prime ribs and roast. Go ahead and start ordering now. Put a special order in the meat department. The McCord will have kids hand print turkeys from starting today through the 11th. You'll be able to get the fresh turkey starting the 14th, so you do not have to wait till closer to the holidays. You buy it around the 14th, you put it in the fridge, it will hold until the time you get ready to cook it. So if you wait till the last day or two, we might run out until supplies last, because it's just fresh turkeys. Next slide. That's it. Couple of things. On Veterans Day is the 10th. The holiday is actually the 11th. Headquarters came down since the holiday for us, since we're a 7-day operation. We're gonna stay open normal business hours, the 10th and the 11th. McCord also, normally on holidays that we're not closed, the only 3 holidays out the year we close is Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. All other holidays, we normally close at 1700, but this holiday that's coming up, we will have normal business hours at the commissary. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Pat Tinker. I'm the McCord Maine store manager. Just to highlight some of the events we've got going on over at both the McCord Maine store and the Lewis Maine store. Several events going on all throughout November, to include our big kickoff sale for Veterans Day. That's the new start of the Black Friday for us. So the 10th of November, we will be open regular hours. Like the commissary, we normally do holiday hours, but we will be open regular hours on Veterans Day. Well, the 10th is the holiday for Veterans Day. So if you're looking for those great deals, show up on the 10th. We'll be open at 9 o'clock. And of course, for Black Friday, we normally, in past years, have opened at 4 o'clock. This year, we will be opening at 6 o'clock. So for those of you who stand up in line and get in line at midnight, we don't open until 6 o'clock on Black Friday. Next slide, please. And this just highlights the hours for Veterans Day, which is the 10th of November, which is the actual holiday. Both McCord and Lewis Maine store will be open regular hours. Next slide, please. And these are just some of the one-day events that are advertising for one-day events for Veterans Day as well as Black Friday going on for the food facilities as well as the main store. And September 11th kicks off the Veterans Day, able to shop online. We've got the beta program going on right now, so we do have some veterans that are able to shop right now, and it seems to be working very well. But November 11th kicks off where everyone will be able to shop online for our veterans, which is a great opportunity for the veterans. Next slide. And our Thanksgiving holiday hours for the McCord Maine store and Lewis Maine store and some of our expresses, like again, will be closed for Thanksgiving Day and open at 6 o'clock on Friday, Black Friday, and normal hours on Saturday. Any questions? Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Serena West, and I am the president of the Lewis Community Spouses Club. Just a couple quick announcements. Operation Deploy Your Dress, we are the third location for Operation Deploy Your Dress. We receive donations from all over the country and from our families here. DOD ID card holders are able to get one free dress per year. So if your units are not aware that this opportunity is available, please get that information out to them. We've had tons of dresses given away already, and people who said they've never been able to attend a military ball, but now they can because they've been able to get gowns. So we also have, we've gotten a lot of short dresses in that would be great for homecoming or prom for high school students. Hours are posted at the beginning of each month. It's volunteer-led, and our volunteer has littles. So once she knows about her child care, she'll post the information about hours. Holiday Market is this weekend, November 4th at Lakes High School. Admission is $5, $1 off with 1 to however many you'd like to bring, canned good donations. Last I checked, we are just under 90 vendors. So it'll be a great opportunity to kind of get a jump start on holiday shopping and support the Spouses Club. Next slide. The gift wrap fundraiser. We probably have gotten the most questions recently about this fundraiser. We are in the process of collecting requests from units to participate. We are asking that the units go online and complete the application. You can go on and print out the letter of intent to fundraise that has to be signed by the commander. You can scan and email that back to us so we have it ahead of the lottery, or you can bring the form with you to the lottery, and that's when we'll figure out what dates your FRG will be able to fundraise. Any questions? Yes. I believe we have only done it at the PX. Lori, do you remember? Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
I am from the Lewis Army Museum, and I'm just here to tell you that we are open Wednesday through Sunday from 10 to 5, and we'd like to invite you to our Great War Christmas event, Saturday, the 2nd of December, from 10 to 1400. And any questions about the museum?
Thank you, Ms. Grady, for including us at the last minute. I just got her this slide yesterday. I just wanted to put the word out that the thrift shop will be open 2 Saturdays in November and December. We're normally only open the first Saturday, but we'll be open the first and third Saturdays this month and in December. So that's this coming Saturday. Also, we are hiring, so our hours are pretty good for people who have school-aged kids because our hours are generally 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday. although we do open the first and third Saturdays. So, but anybody, please put the word out. We are hiring, and just a special note, we're going to be closed Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, of course, but also the day before Thanksgiving will be closed. And then starting in December, we'll be closed Christmas Day through the 1st of January. So that, just so you know, our people need time off as well. It's not on the slide, but we still do have openings on our board. The board is a volunteer position, but we have an opening for publicity chair. You can put that word out because this is a great opportunity for somebody who might be looking at a future in marketing or advertising or just public speaking. So we're interested in that position. We also have a board position for volunteer coordinator. That's, a good job as well for people who like to be involved in the community and want to get that on their resume as well. If you have any questions, you can stop by the thrift shop when we're open on Tuesday through, I said Monday through Thursday, but that is incorrect. It's Tuesday through Thursday when we're actually open, not Monday through Thursday. Any questions? Okay, I'm not sure who's next.
Hard. The questions, sometimes answers. So does anyone have any questions? I've been here, I think I've been in command 94 days, so I think I'm supposed to know the answer at this point. Anyone? Yes, sir.
Nicole, is there anything special planned for the victory celebration after Army beats Air Force this weekend in college football?
Sir, you beat me to it. No, don't give him a mic. Okay, so I'm going to give Sergeant Major Mo Ryan a couple minutes here, and then we're going to close this up.
All right, hey, good morning. How we doing? All right, so for those of us who did not get a chance to meet or see our boss, Better Opportunity for Single Service Members, last community update, I'll ask the boss team to just kind of stand up and show yourselves. All right, so this is a combination of soldiers and airmen who are working together to basically support and get our service members out of the dorms, out of the barracks, have fun, enjoy life. And so if you have any questions about who they are, what they do, well, now you know they're the best dressed people in the room. Thank you. All right, so here's just a heads up and a request from me to the commanders and the senior enlisted leaders, sergeants major and chiefs, in regards to the post office. We are now progressively getting worse and worse with our conduct in the post office. People are starting to yell at, almost get physical, and just all kinds of craziness. And they're going postal on our post office workers. So I would ask that you help me pass the word. There's only a few of them. On the McCord side of the installation, there's only one person in the post office. So when she has to go to the bathroom, she has to close the post office for 10 minutes, do her thing, and then come back. And somebody was not appreciative of that fact last week. So I just ask, get the word out. If you want to send something out for the holidays, be proactive, be early, and please be polite and professional. The Go Transit, we're almost at 7,000 riders a month. When I started this thing, we were only, 200 and something a month? All right, so that is our service members, our family members who are getting around. I've got an appointment. They're going to the hospital. I've got to go to the commissary. I want to go to the movie theater. I'm going to go bowling, whatever it is. So please, that initiative is alive, it's well, and it's thriving, thanks to the Go Transit team. We also, for the brigade leadership here. If you haven't gotten any information on the Santa's Castle, the turkey drop, or the ham grenades for the holiday assistance program, that program is running, and to my far left, most of us are back right there, is Sergeant First Class Cruz. Would you raise your hand, please? All right, so Sergeant Cruz is the point of contact. So if you haven't heard anything about it, that's the guy, and I'm going to ask Sergeant Cruz to move over to this door over here that's open so that when we break for the morning, if you have any questions, you can hit him up. Ma'am, thank you very much.
Okay, just a couple of things that I wanted to foot stomp before we close out. So we mentioned the CYS employees, the CDC employees. That, in my mind, really affects our readiness. The ability to provide the child care that's needed for everyone on the installation is really important. And so those positions and those job fairs that we're doing, please help us spread the word. It does take a while to get someone hired because of the checks that are required to hire someone who works with children. But JBLM is the fastest in the Army in being able to onboard somebody. So the time of year that we are, and people come out of the holidays about 60 days from now feeling like they could use a little extra money, or maybe it's time to go back to work. So consider that. Help us spread the word down into your units that we are doing these hiring fairs twice a week. We do them at Eagles Pride. It's not just to work in the CDCs, but it's also the FCC providers, the in-home providers. So it's not just for you in the room, but please help us spread the word about those are great opportunities for spouses, and they do it moves from installation as they move. We get better and better with the continuity associated with CYS employees. Hey, the point on winter weather, I can't remember whether it was Chuck that mentioned it. If you haven't been stationed at JBLM before, which I have not, it is no joke what happens here with the weather. So the warnings that you get about black ice and ice, please heed them. If you came from a part of the country where you don't know what black ice is, you're about to learn what it is this winter. So we're going to do our best to communicate on the weather, and as the weather comes, we're going to try to make those weather calls, as we communicate with senior commanders as early as we can. But please help us spread the word about what the weather is going to be like and how it will vary just across the installation itself, not even out into the communities where 70% of us live, but right here on JBLM. So please help us, include that in briefs and safety briefs and stuff as we roll into the winter season. Thank you so much, Donna, for being here about the Wreaths Across America. If you haven't visited the Lewis Cemetery on JBLM, it is the Camp Lewis Cemetery. It is a neat spot. This little brochure's on your tables. Grab one of these, grab your kids, and go out and visit that cemetery on a Saturday. It is really, there's some really neat history tucked right in here on JBLM. And it really is a beautiful spot. So I'm going to let Colonel Snelson come up and do his closing comments. Do you have anything? Okay. But I do want to highlight that it's the 4th of November that Army's going to beat Air Force. And secondly, on the 18th of November, can someone please come out and beat him at the turkey trot? He has chicken legs, but we're going to call him turkey legs this time. But somebody's got to beat him this time. So thanks. Sir, I'm going to pass it to General Wilson.
I just got one update there. The Santa's Castle deadline has been extended to the 7th at midnight. So if you haven't had an opportunity to submit for a soldier or an airman to receive some type of help, that is the deadline for that.
Were the dates and times, or the date and times put out for the pictures at Santa's Castle? I know that came up in our brigade last week, and I just wanted to make sure that was highlighted today.
No? Friday and Saturday? Okay. I'll get that out today.
Mike. Can you hear me? Okay. There are these
Friday, and it's going to be from 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. Well, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Friday, and Saturday is going to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $10, or you can bring a toy to donate.
Okay, thank you. Can you say those times one more time?
Friday, November 3rd, from 1600 to 1900, and Saturday from 10 to 1400. And a toy or $10.
Okay, just to wrap it up on behalf of General Valesky, as many of you know, it's a busy time of the year for a lot of people. I mean, we're moving into the holiday season, which for some of us is a time of joy and cheer and all that. But for a lot of people, it's a time of stress. A lot of you realize that as well. Whether it's, kids and holiday parties at school, buying gifts, or having families come visit, sometimes for longer than you would like, and in greater quantities. But I bring that up because the value of a forum like this is the information that we get out to share with our soldiers, airmen, and family members. And so we got a lot of blue and green suiters in here. And so on behalf of the boss, I can tell you, get the word out. But I would also like to thank our volunteers who are in here. I mean, these things like Santa's Castle that we talk about, largely volunteer run. We talked about ham grenade and turkey drop. That's largely sponsored by some of our civilian businesses outside that help us on that. These are all things to help benefit our soldiers and airmen around this time of the year. So get the word out. That's the most important thing about this. Whether by word of mouth, I know a number of you get the slides. I personally follow a number of your Twitter accounts, the JBLMEMC I follow, and I get a lot of good things through that. I also follow Madigan. So I'd encourage you to get the word out, because all of this, if we don't get it to those that really need it, we are not optimizing what we can be doing for our soldiers and airmen. So please do that. One last thing. I would like to take an opportunity on behalf of both General Valesky and Sergeant Major Tagg to thank Sergeant Major Rich Mulryan. He in about a month, and these dates tend to wiggle around, he will be doing his change of responsibility, and then he'll transition. I've had the good fortune of knowing him for a number of years, and much like many of you, he's an example of what our senior non-commissioned officers do for our services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And so, although he may be here one more time, he may not be, because dates tend to wiggle around. So really, on behalf of the boss, and really all those that you've served with, and everybody here, please give him a round of applause. Of course, there'll be an official invite go out to all of you once we settle on the date. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity, because some of you won't get a chance to see him again. So again, thank you all very much. Thanks to the briefers, especially thanks to the volunteers. And Nicole, thank you very much.